Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of The Art of Painted Comics. Now this book's got 256 pages, it's a thick chunky hardback, really substantial, came out in 2016 and it's from Dynamite Comics. There's C. Lawrence there, Art of Painted Comics, Dynamite. And you can see on the back there detail about all 1920s, all the way trading cards, 1940s, etc, etc. Vast number of different artists involved in this. And wow, I mean it's a substantial book. Though of course, vast amounts of covers completely missed off, and also lots of covers you think, why have they included in that one when they could have included things like Princess Tina or books from Spain or Italy, loads of gold keys and dells. Nothing, very little, but still. Also Warren, all the Warren one, they've got a few examples, but of course there was Skyward, many others as well that had some really great covers, not really particularly included, which is a pity. Right, let's just go through the book. That's a minor criticism. I think it's still an absolutely amazing quality book. You should be able to get copies of this. Looked online, still seem to be readily available, so really worth checking out. I don't know if it is in print or not in print, but still, certainly copies seem to be reasonably affordable. There you've got Alex Ross, of course, afterward and cover art. Brilliant Alex Ross. You've got their contents. Now, this is the thing slightly weird. It's got quite a section, not vast amount. It's got about 10 or 15 pages about Pulp Fiction, also various other things in Pulp Fiction. Again, you can see the paperbacks. Again, nothing wrong with including paperbacks, some great covers. But it is painted comics, not painted. I mean, if you're going to go for a book, there's loads of those sort of examples. There's a great one, Street and Smith. I can't remember the title, Pulp Action or something. I've done a review of it, I think. Quite certain I have. If I haven't, I should do a review because it's such a brilliant book. But it's full of all sort of these sorts of the covers. And Sheena Weird Tales, but not really painted comics. But they're great examples now. If only they brought out painted covers like that nowadays. Absolutely dramatic stuff. Street and Smith. Lots and lots of ones there. Now this is another thing they've got there. Adventure comics. Now again, great to include, but it's not exactly a painted cover. If you're going to start defining that as a painted cover, it's, yes, it's inked, it's coloured, but it's not, I wouldn't say painted. That one is Captain Marvel. But again, Wiz Comics, Captain Marvel, of course, brilliant. Don't recall many covers, Captain Marvel, that were actually painted. Very few. Just seems odd that they've included. I mean, there's obviously some. You can see a few examples again. Another example I wouldn't classify, but this one, of course, Shazam. Really love that book. But not really. Oh, classic, of course. Completely forgot about Classics Illustrated. Again, they are definitely painted covers. Absolutely superb. But also you've got this one. I love that. The Rise of the Paperback. Lots and lots of details about that, of course. And Avengers. I haven't got any of those. Keep thinking maybe. And of course, lots of these. Now, I went to a book fair this weekend and they had loads and loads of brilliant painted cover books. And there's also a pulp fair coming up fairly soon. I'm really looking forward to that. Though they're quite expensive, pulp books. They're not the cheapest, those sort of 1960s, 1950 ones. They are, sometimes you look at it and turn it around, it says £25, £30, and you go, phew, and probably more. And mainly, of course, just for the cover, because well, but there you got, those are brilliant. They are definitely worth checking out. I've got those, the Frank Frazetta ones, book 1 and book 2. Again, he's got the eerie and creepy, but there's so many other ones as well. James Bond, again, not particularly painted comics, as much as they are brilliant. And I love the pulp covers of these. Just absolutely superb. Shock Illustrated. EC did very few, and actually quite weird when you think about it, that they didn't do painted covers. All their covers were not painted. They were obviously just standard inked and coloured, but not painted like that. I love those. They're actually some of my favourites. I know lots of people really don't like those. The Shock Illustrated, those sort of, but I think they're great. Crime Illustrated, again, example. They put the one example, Crime Illustrated, not actually painted. But again, you've got lots of these other ones, again, not painted. Bickle, mad. Now, those obviously were. But Famous Monsters, now these ones, of course, painted covers. I love these ones. Conan the Barbarian, Savage Tales, Rampage, I've just got the epic, the Essentials I knew it was one of them. Essentials one, volume 1 and volume 2. Absolutely brilliant. I just love those. They are just some of the best. Just lots and lots of these painted covers as well for those. And it's got those examples in there and they're just brilliant. Turok, Son of Stone. They did so many brilliant covers. Would be nice. Actually, what would be nice would be a book of all the Gold Key and Dell covers. Now, you can get that to a degree. Obviously, there's various, and also online, of course, you can see millions of examples. But it would be nice to get a real chunky book of all those Gold Key ones, because most of them, the covers are better than most of the comics. I expect lots of people will disagree on that, but there's some good stories as well. But there's a lot of really, they're not so readable. But Metal Hurling, I love those ones. And again, they're quite hard to read. One, they're in French, but heavy metal ones are great. But again, that's another thing that's missing. All the Spanish, Italian ones, there are some brilliant ones. Carrero Press, if you check out Carrero Press, they've got Sex and Horror. It's a series of 4, 5, it's quite a lot of volumes. They are brilliant. Not for everyone. I'd have to say that they are not, but they're still absolutely impressive covers. The artwork is superb, and it's just great that they bring out these sort of books. And you've got lots of these profiles of various artists as well. Arthur Sujam, Epic Expansion. Oh, of course, Epic. They had some great covers. I love those Epic ones. They were good. Epic. There's Epic. And, of course, all the Bernie Wrightson, Jeffrey Jones. And also, that was great. Actually, that was a painted one I really loved. Again, there's not many books. Maybe people will criticise me and say, yes, there are. There's loads in Vertigo. But there was, of course, a Book of Magic. Books of Magic, yeah. That one, Neil Gaiman. Just absolute. Moonshadow. Moonshadow is an example. Straight away, I'm finding an example in here, of course, Moonshadow. But there's not many what I classify as sort of watercolour painted or oil painted comic books. There's some. Obviously, people like Dave McKean, my favourite artist, created lots and lots of them. But there's an infinite amount of covers, of course. Talking about the brilliant Dave McKean. I absolutely love Sandman, of course. Just masterpieces. Enemy Ace, some examples. There are some. But in terms of percentage, I don't know what the percentage would be. If you go through all the comics over all the years from the 40s all the way through, how many have got painted covers, but how many painted interiors? I don't think there's vast amount, percentage-wise. You've got there, the Hildebrandt. No, I was never a fan of the Hildebrandt brothers. I've got one of their books. No, it's just not. But Alex Ross, lots of examples. Just the Marvels one is, for me, the best of all time. I love that. It's in my top 10, top 5. I just love that book. Absolutely brilliant. And of course, he did lots for DC and also Project Superpowers and lots of other ones. And there's obviously lots of fine examples from him there. Simon Bisley, isn't here? Matt Bush. Now, there's many artists I'm not actually that familiar with. Matt Bush. I'm certain he's very popular, but one I'm not. But he's got lots of artist profiles, which is great. But in many ways, I would love to have had more, again, of the history of all the different covers. That the Dell ones, again, all missed. But still, full of a great example. Again, Scott Hampton. But again, covers. Not so many. Oh, of course, lots of trade paperbacks. That one, I love that series. Golden, obviously, it's a bit slightly out of date now because, of course, lots of these material that was included in there have been included in omnibus editions. But at the time, this was volume 1 and volume 2. I just love that. And also the Captain America one. Oh, Dave McKean. Knew I'd get to Dave McKean. I haven't got that one. Alice Cooper, The Last Temptation. Should buy it. Hellblazer, brilliant. Got that cover. Sandman, all the Sandman, just got the absolutes. They're just superb. And Stephen Rood, Matt Wagner. Apologies for saying. I'm always hopeless with saying people's names. I'm certain I'll be corrected in the comments. And also lots of things about like cards as well. So you've got obviously trading cards. Again, I'm not really certain that trading cards should be included. Painted comics, of course. The evolution continues, of course. You've got here Arkham Unhinged, Action Comics, and of course lots and lots of those. And Vampirella and many, many. And of course, lovely afterward This is just an absolutely first-rate book. You can see it. It's a real thick, chunky book. Lots and lots of artist profiles, and also lots and lots of examples. Again, just odd examples, things like that. Just baffling why they'd include those. But still, I think this is an absolute joy to have. If you're a fan of comics, fan of painted comics, this has to be an instant purchase. So there is, let's just turn it back so you can see the details there. I hope you can read the ISBN, all that sort of thing. Obviously, quick search, and it's by Christopher Lawrence.